Awesome. Recording. Good evening, everybody, and thank you for taking the time to come and listen to what we've got to say about Bitcoin, Bitclub, and the crypto sphere. It's a rainy evening tonight here in Joburg, so we might have some interruptions with the broadcast, but sit tight, enjoy, listen with an open mind, and Esa's going to tell us about Bitcoin, crypto, and Bitclub. Okay, thanks, Esa.
Thanks a lot, Werner. Welcome everyone to this talk on Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Sit back and enjoy. I hope I can show you a couple of things you didn't know. Bitcoin price today, 5,484 on the US dollar. And of course on the South African rand for the South Africans, 78,280. We go look at the exchanges. You can see wildly fluctuating at the moment. A lot of people speculating, but it could be that it's got to do with the Bitcoin cash split. That's actually just happened 20 minutes ago, as a matter of fact. So without further ado, I always like to tell people about money first before we speak about cryptocurrency. So the term fiat money, nothing to do with cars, has got to do with government-issued currency, in other words, legal tender, as it's called. A legal tender would refer to a trust-based tender, as I like to call it, or that's being issued by governments. So the question, of course, is how much do you trust your government? And as we know, it can also fluctuate quite wildly. We'll have a brief look at it just shortly. And if you go and have a look at 25 facts about the Federal Reserve, we all know that money as we know it, South African rands and other currencies are mostly evaluated against the US dollar. So very interesting facts that you can go have a look up there. I bet you did not know that it's a privately owned entity for one. So go have a look at it. Sounds like conspiracy theories, actually conspiracy facts. So have a look and browse around. So inflation rate, just a very interesting thing. If we look at just roughly at regions, and we look at, and this is of course also IMF website, if we look at the African region, the average inflation rate in Africa is 11.7. If we go have a look specifically at South Africa, just scrolling down there, sitting on 4.8%. We can be glad we're not in places like South Sudan and things like that. So how does this pertain? Basically, it's to show you that if you were to put money in a bank with a fixed deposit and you read the fine prints, the if, buts, and whys, we can see it's anywhere from 12% per annum, mostly 5-year fixed deposits and so on. The average guy knows around about a 6% return. So if you've got a just over broke, a day job, how much are you negotiating for annual increase this year? So the point around this is that our currencies, as we know it, aren't always doing really well for us. We're working very hard for something that the majority of us never learned about at school. So we go to school, to go to university for the lucky ones, to go and earn something that we don't actually know what it is or how it works. All right. So if we go have a look in 2007, 2008, the financial crisis, if you go read the news, there's speculation that we're heading for another one right now. Go have a look on Wikipedia. It was shortly after that Bitcoin, this strange new cryptocurrency, was launched. Now, the wonder around Bitcoin is that it's a peer-to-peer currency. In other words, there's no third party involved. There's no government involved. We literally send money to each other. Now, this pseudonymous entity, Satoshi Nakamoto, came out with this white paper. I like to refer to it as a business plan for this cryptocurrency. And what he described there was something amazing. He said, we'll create a exchange of value where we can send each other value, and it'll be peer-to-peer, open source, ungoverned, decentralized. So all the transactions that happen will get checked by decentralized third parties. It's not a central agency. They basically keep the books for us. So, and these computers, these data centers, also known as miners, they get rewarded with new cryptocurrency every 10 minutes. You also pin the amount of Bitcoin that'll ever be created to 21 million. Currently sitting on 17.2 million Bitcoin in circulation. Every Bitcoin's got 100 million fractions. So gradually these Bitcoins get released, and there's more and more people who want the Bitcoin, so it works purely on supply and demand. At the moment, we can see the price dropping. I'd like to think because there's a lot of people having a fright maybe on cryptocurrencies and selling off. I would not do that if I were you. So please go and read up. So if we go and look at CoinMarketCap, we'll notice that there's quite a few other cryptocurrencies. We can actually go click on Bitcoin, have a more in-depth look at it. Interesting fact is that the only other year that Bitcoin didn't grow in value was 2014. Now we can actually go and have a look at historical data on CoinMarketCap, and then we can go and sift through it, and we can apply a custom range, and we can say, for example, let's have a look at the last 2 years. So if we're looking at the opening value, 6,350 this morning, I'm just going to scroll down. So I apologize if it goes a bit fast on your screen. And if we look back exactly 2 years, it was 639. So a 10-fold increase over the past 2 years. Not too bad. Hey? So I definitely don't know about any fiat currency that does that in growth of value. So of course, like I said, I spoke about these entities, these data centers that check these transactions for us. Initially, it was people on their computers who did it at home, like the laptop or computer you're sitting in front of right now. But then, of course, we know technology got involved, and there was computers developed called ASICs, application-specific integrated circuit machines. These machines, all that they do is they work through transactions, check the ledger, and of course, compete against each other to win these new bits of Bitcoin, or the Bitcoin that gets distributed to them as reward every 10 minutes. Initially, it was 50 new Bitcoin every 10 minutes. Every 4 years it halves. Then it was 25. Currently, we're sitting on 12.5 new Bitcoin. Now, because it's transparent and anybody can see it, we can actually go and have a look. If you go to blockchain.com, one of the most popular online wallet providers, we can actually go and see who are these guys, as they call it, hash rate distribution. Just a fancy way of saying who are these people that is checking transactions for us and who's got the most hash power. Our concern is, of course, with Bitclub Network. Very interesting on blockchain.com. You can actually scroll down. You can have a look at the amount of blocks that they mined. Again, Bitclub sitting on 3.6% currently at the moment. We can click on Bitclub Network here on blockchain.com. It shows us the hash number, those unique blocks. Quite a few on the 15th. That's today that they actually hit. If we scroll down further, we can see the transaction. We can see where these newly generated coins were sent to. That's actually a wallet number over there. If I click on the wallet number, sorry, switching something off here, then I can actually go and see where this Bitcoin was sent to and where it was paid to. And we can see in this one specific wallet, there's more than $442 million worth of Bitcoin that was paid to. So what's nice for us to know is we can check it, we can see it, it's open source, third-party websites. We can even go to other websites to check. For example, if we go to btc.com, sorry, just moving my screen around slightly, you can also verify who these mines are and who created the new, or who won the newest reward. You'll notice that it's not 12.5, but more than 12.5. Because remember, when I send Bitcoin to someone, there's a small transaction fee included as well. So these are included in the block rewards. So if we scroll down once again here on BTC, currently sitting on more than 2,065 petahash, rated as 8th at the moment. So they've been building quite a bit on their amount of computing power. Quite amazing. So we can see. Now, as far as the Bitcoin price is concerned, I know there's a lot of people who are concerned about this Bitcoin price, why it's so falling and whatever. Unfortunately, I always say my crystal ball is a bit cracked. But if you haven't heard or looked around, heard of the Intercontinental Exchange. So these guys, this is basically Wall Street. So ICE has been working for the past couple of months on a platform called BACT. Now, BACT, in short, bridging trust and utility to digital assets. So this is going to be a platform where people can actually then go and trade with Bitcoin and other crypto assets. Now, the largest, I always say the largest advertising machine in the world is Wall Street. So if they say Bitcoin is okay, then the rest of the world will jump on board with Bitcoin. Supply and demand, less and less Bitcoin that gets released, more and more people that want it. My logic just says Bitcoin price goes up. I'm still sticking with a very high prediction for Bitcoin by the end of the year. Some guys who say they read charts, trading charts and things, they're saying keep an eye, it's going up. I don't know. But yes, so the future looks great. Go have a read up on BACT. Quite amazing, because remember, people don't want to risk their money. So yeah, I don't know. I just go to blockchain.com and have a wallet there and go to local Bitcoins and buy Bitcoin. But that's just me. I don't need an international continental exchange type of thing. All right. So jumping right forward, where our concern is and our interest lies is with the Bitclub. So without further ado, let me jump into my presentation for you. Let me just open it up over here. Now, as we know, Bitclub, like I showed you guys, one of the largest mines in the world. They've been going since 2014. And how they work is, you'll hear that Joby in a little video I'm going to be playing for you just now. He explains it in a very nice way. It's basically a group of friends that came together and decided they want to open a data center to check transactions and compete for new Bitcoin. So as this group of friends, they created the Bitclub network. And as you can tell, friends who tell friends get rewarded with affiliate bonuses, and hence the network. So Bitcoin, just by the way, recently became 10 years old. So you can go and read. It's come a very, very far way. If you go to CoinMarketCap again and you go, the first page recorded, we know, of course, that 2010, 22nd of May, 2010, National Pizza Day. At that stage, Bitcoin was worth 20 US cents. So I think it goes without saying as to where it's going. Now, our main interest with Bitclub, you can mine. It's a slow process because remember, you're getting rewarded with Bitcoin, and Bitcoin value goes up and down. Where our interest lies with Bitclub is in the earning of Bitcoin side. So mining is the one side. If you don't manage to earn Bitcoin through telling other people, which I don't know, if you read Jacaranda's Twitter feed even, they even report on the Bitcoin price. So it's a conversation piece these days. If you tell someone or ask someone, have you got Bitcoin? It's not exactly like I'm saying or asking them, have you seen this amazing kind of stuff? It's not the same thing. It just starts. So, I mean, have you got Bitcoin? Have you got a wallet? Can I help you to buy some Bitcoin? Would you like to earn some Bitcoin? Really not a very difficult conversation. And in so doing, you can actually then earn an income. Now, the incomes, as far as Bitclub is concerned, is you pick how much you want to earn. I'd like you to have a listen to Mr. Jabu Kunene.
I would like to share my true testimony about this business, how it changed my life. I am 45 years old. I was unemployed for more than 19 years until last year, August. At a petrol station, I work as a petrol attendant. I am a father of 4. You can imagine how was the future. Actually, it was futureless and poverty until my brother introduced me about the business, Bitcoin. He was introduced to him by my sister-in-law, Ms. Neo More. I trusted them. I work at my new job as a petrol attendant. How much I earn, you can imagine. Father of 4. Then I speak to my inner person. I say to myself, let me sacrifice for 3 months and join this business. God, you know I trust you. Father of 4 with your petrol salary. I have to sacrifice, even my kids. Then I pay for my membership with my petrol attendant salary in 3 months. I bought my $500 pool of shares. Never in my life had to have 20,000 salary through networking. Then I bought all my 4 kids $500 pool. And now I sleep Bitcoin, I eat Bitcoin, I see the light, I see the future. My kids, the cycle of poverty is broken. Last year, December, I bid my farewell to my boss. Now I know it is doable with Bitcoin. And the team is very supportive. If I can so, and you can. Hope next time I will post my new house in this platform. God bless you all. The future is with you. Thanks. Take care. Bitcoin is a fire. Bitcoin is the future of money.
A very important thing that he says is the team is very supportive. As you can tell, we are. We're sitting here, we're teaching you guys. And that's the amazing thing around BitClub. It's a community. So we're helping each other to understand Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies, and all the intricacies around it. You won't be doing this business on your own. All right. So with Achievers Club, which we're part of, and in BitClub, obviously, meetings all over the place. All right. So as we discussed, Bitcoin price grows in value. Always have a look at CoinDesk. As you can see, over the past year, it's gone up quite nicely. That was the 5th. Yes, quite a tumble we're taking at the moment, but you got to zoom out and have a look maybe in a logarithmic scale. If you look at it this way, you will see that it's a permanent upward trend. Go do yourself a favor and go Google transactions or the tendency on Google for people to search Bitcoin. You'll see that there's a growing interest. All right. So where we basically are with Bitcoin is way over here, just that little tip there. So this is technology, guys. You know, there was the days when people went to the bank with a little booklet. I remember my grandfather didn't want to have a plastic card. I'm old enough to remember the denim cards. I don't know who you remember those. Good old Trust Bank, which also doesn't exist anymore. But yeah, so technology keeps on growing. This is just the way that it works. And with Bitcoin, it's, again, the same. So just to put it in an even bigger perspective on the amount of money that potentially could flow into this space. Now, that is the entire cryptocurrency market. This was on July 24th, but you're welcome to go and Google and have a look at the market cap at the moment. That is the market cap of gold. So have a look at that. But that's still nothing. So with new days, guys, now have a look at the stock markets. $77 trillion. Still nothing. This is all the money in the world. Now, it really astounds me because there's even more than all the money in the world. But this is real estate. And then have a look at global debt. Very interesting questions. Who are they owing money to? It's global debt. Why don't they just pay each other? Okay, I'm not an economist. And then even more if you look at the derivative market. So, I mean, there's gazillions of dollars that could potentially flow into this market. All right. So, and then if you relate $532 trillion to the amount of money that, this is March of this year, that actually gets exchanged on the major big exchanges, that's 3.4 million. I mean, really? So I think you can start seeing what I'm talking about when I say there's a lot of money that can still flow into the space. All right, so like I discussed, Bitcoin is a deflationary currency. We know what happens with our money, what you could buy with 100 rands, and how much petrol you could throw in, or what you could put in now. And then, of course, what we can see with Bitcoin. With Bitcoin, guys, there's, of course, this Lambo thing. So by 2021, who knows? So what we like to refer to as business builders within Bitclub is we're venture capitalists. I am not a financial advisor, guys, and I cannot tell you to invest in anything. So it's very dangerous to say invest in Bitclub, because also people want to know, what's my ROI? What's my return on investment? And the answer on that is simple and complicated at the same time, because to try and work out your return on this investment, when are you selling your Bitcoin? So if you're going to be selling that Bitcoin that you mined today at the end of the month, I don't know what your return is going to be, because I don't know what the Bitcoin price is going to be. Are you calculating it daily? Are you selling the Bitcoin daily? So how do you work out what your return on investment is? All that I know is I've made my money back from my mining a couple of times over. And for the guys that's been in Bitcoin mining for longer than 18 months, 2 years, the past year has been very slow, they've made their money back. So yes, I feel quite secure with it. So as we can see with venture capital, VC funding, these are the guys on CoinDesk that's declaring their money that they're putting. So have a look at the amount of money that's flowing into the space. Now, Bitcoin is only as good as the underlying infrastructure. So the mines, the data centers, the places, Bitcoin ATMs, where can we spend money, readily converted, exchanges, those kinds of things. So there's a lot of money flowing into the space. Feel free to go and Google what the big guys are doing and saying around Bitcoin. And of course, this click with this blockchain technology thing as well. So there's a ton of venture capital flowing into this space. And basically, the opportunity is there for us to do the same. I'd like to play you a video clip that features Joby Weeks. Joby is one of the co-founders of Bitclub. Here he's sitting on a yacht. It's a slightly old video, but I like the way that he explains it. You'll notice that he talks about the amounts that Bitcoin is mining there. It's actually funny looking back, because Bitclub's mining a lot more than that now. But have a look. So, sorry guys, don't try and control my computer or something. Not cool. But yeah, verkiele. So let me present. All right, so let me just continue with Joby and have a listen to this video.
Hey, aloha, it's Joby. We're sitting here on a boat sailing from San Diego all the way to Patagonia through Costa Rica, Mexico, and Peru, and Guatemala. We were in Chile just the other day, about to hit Patagonia, looping around. 31-day cruise. This has been the view for the last 18 days. And what have I been doing? I've been sitting here on my laptop, literally living on this ship, making money with Bitcoin. Now, there's a couple different ways you can participate in Bitcoin. You can either go buy Bitcoin, or you can sell something for Bitcoin. But only 1% of the people out there get Bitcoin from its source through mining Bitcoin. And that's what we've chosen to do. Because you look at companies like Visa, for instance, you see they set up these huge data centers that are tracking $700 million a day in transactions, and Visa gets a 3% rake off the top. They're making $20 million a day. So we decided to do the same thing, but to do it with Bitcoin. So we've set up a big data center up in Iceland to track all the Bitcoin transactions and secure the network, and every day that Bitcoin data center, the Bitcoin mine, generates Bitcoin for us. So we're making money 24/7 traveling around the world. And what's fun is Bitcoin is available for everyone, everywhere. There's no bank. It takes away the need for banks. I can pay you directly, peer-to-peer. When I send you a wire, that has to be cleared through the bank, or I write you a check, or I do Visa or PayPal. They freeze your accounts. They charge you fees and chargebacks, all that stuff. We don't need that with Bitcoin. We can go peer-to-peer. It's the revolutionary internet money. Now, a lot of people want to participate. and they want to know what the mine is all about. And a lot of these Bitcoin mines are very hard to get into. You have to know the people, you have to have lots of money to invest, or you have to invest yourself and buy the equipment yourself and figure out how to mine in your basement. What we decided to do was set up our own data center up in Iceland, where it's the cheapest electricity in the world, and crowdfunded, if you will. We're allowing the little guys to get into Bitcoin mining as well. And so it's really exciting. You can buy a share in the mine, and whatever the mine finds that day, right now we're finding about $10,000 a day in Bitcoin. So whatever the mine finds each day is evenly dispersed in a daily dividend to our shareholders. And what you're really doing is you're buying Bitcoin mining equipment, but instead of you taking delivery, the equipment's getting shipped up to Iceland to be linked together in our data center to create this supercomputer to track all the Bitcoin transactions and secure the network. And then you get paid a daily dividend for 1,000 days. So it's pretty exciting. It's a lot simpler than you think. Years ago, to get Bitcoin, it was really shady. You had to figure out the Tor network. You had to go to Walgreens and buy a green dot card and find someone that's going to sell you Bitcoin on the Silk Road. No more. Now there's banks. You can link your bank account to Coinbase. You can buy Bitcoins with a credit card. There's lots of ways. You can go to ATMs. You can do local Bitcoins. Depends on what country you're in, but you can get Bitcoin very easily now. And that's step number one. Get yourself some Bitcoin, because to join the Bitclub, you can only join with Bitcoin. So you got to go through step one and actually get Bitcoin. So that's step one. Step two is you join the club. It's $99 to become a member of the club. And then each share is $500 a share. A founding spot is $3,500, which gets you a share in each of the 3 pools. The videos on the website explain it, but a lot of people have been asking me, all right, I'm interested. How do I get started? Well, number one, you got to get Bitcoin. So that's step number one. Once you become a member of the club, you start participating in the profits. And not only does our data center generate money for us every day, but we're setting up a global network of ATMs that will generate income for us. We're creating a new project called Bit.life, which is incentivizing us to go tell our friends, to go get business merchants to accept Bitcoin. And when that creates revenue for us, so there's lots of ways to make money. But literally, I've been sitting here sailing around the world, unlimited internet, 25 bucks a day. I give you unlimited internet, making money anywhere in the world with Bitclub. And you can too. If you join us and you start sharing this with others, we have a nice incentive program. You can make up to 18% of whatever someone invests. So, you know, if you bring on a friend that throws in 10 grand, you can make up to $1,800 for inviting him in. That's to incentivize us to share this club with our friends. If $1,000 comes in, the money is broken down very simply. $400 goes to buy Bitcoin mining equipment. $200 goes to run the mine and pay the electric bill, etc. And the other 40% is paid out through the affiliate program to incentivize us to talk about Bitcoin everywhere we go. So it's a very awesome opportunity for people to make money with us, sharing Bitcoin with all their friends and loved ones around the world, and freeing humanity from the banking cartel, which is the whole point. So join us, and aloha.
Quite amazing. I think you get what he's saying over there. So you mine Bitcoin, you can earn Bitcoin, earn affiliate bonuses. So how do you invest in the infrastructure? You can basically buy and hold Bitcoin. Now, I always tell people, look, it's cool, buy and hold Bitcoin. I also have Bitcoin. But at a stage, you're going to want to sell that Bitcoin. Otherwise, it's sitting in your cupboard. Why not also earn Bitcoin? So you can become a venture capitalist and earn Bitcoin, not just through mining, which is going to keep on printing you new Bitcoin, but you can also make it, as Joby calls it, through affiliate bonuses. So that's great. So what we're talking about here is Bitcoin mining. So this is the process of adding transaction records to Bitcoin's public ledger. So like I explained, it's a public ledger. We're sending Bitcoin to each other. All these mining computers, these data centers, they keep this ledger. So while they are keeping this ledger, they're also competing to earn new Bitcoin through mining. All right. So a nice little short video that can explain it. I'll show it to you here. Otherwise, I keep on prattling. I think the video explains it a lot better and faster.
What is Bitcoin mining? Bitcoin operates as a peer-to-peer network. This means that everyone who uses Bitcoin is a tiny fraction of the bank of Bitcoin. But where do Bitcoins come from? With paper money, a government decides when to print and distribute money. Bitcoin doesn't have a central government. With Bitcoin, miners use special software to solve math problems and are issued a certain number of Bitcoins in exchange. This provides a smart way to issue the currency and also creates an incentive for more people to mine. And since miners are required to approve Bitcoin transactions, more miners means a more secure network. The Bitcoin network automatically changes the difficulty of the math problems, depending on how fast they're being solved. In the early days, Bitcoin miners solved these math problems with the processors in their computers. Soon, miners discovered that graphics cards used for gaming were much better suited to this kind of math. Graphics cards are faster, but they use more electricity and generate a lot of heat. The first commercial Bitcoin mining products included chips that were reprogrammed for mining Bitcoin. These chips were faster, but still power hungry. ASIC, or application-specific integrated circuit chips, are designed specifically for Bitcoin mining. ASIC technology has made Bitcoin mining even faster while using less power. As the popularity of Bitcoin increases, more miners join the network, making it more difficult for individuals to solve the math problems. To overcome this, miners have developed a way to work together in pools. Pools of miners find solutions faster than their individual members, and each miner is rewarded proportionate to the amount of work he or she provides. Mining is an important and integral part of Bitcoin that ensures fairness while keeping the Bitcoin network stable, safe, and secure. For more information about Bitcoin mining, visit bitcoinmining.com.
Awesome. So they're talking about mining pools, and again, there we can see where we just had a peek earlier on blockchain.com pools, the Bitclub network. Quite visible, easy to see, and also, like I showed you guys, quite nicely that Bitclub has gone up on their amount of hashing power. So here's a little video on Bitclub and why they chose one of their largest mines is in Iceland. I'll take the audio down slightly. They've actually got a couple of mines around the world. There's actually some of the guys from Bitclub in Iceland at the moment, as we speak, visiting the mine over there. Iceland is absolutely the perfect place because they've got geothermal power, so very cheap power. You remember these mining machines, these ASIC machines, these data centers in general, they're very, very power hungry and they're very hot. So if you were to try and run one of these in your home, you can, but it's preferable in the garage. You don't know what you're doing, and you got to keep it cool. So I don't know, with this a very hot day we had today, you might have been sitting there with a couple of fans, and I'm hoping that you'll cover the power and the cost. So yeah, Iceland, like I said, this one, I'll show you the video what it looks like just now in CERN data center. Absolutely brilliant, the facilities that they have there. They've also got another one in Canada and in Russia, I believe. Just listening to what the guys were saying on the video clips they were posting on Facebook today. So go have a look. You'll see. Remember that Bitclub's got official Facebook pages and those things as well. So perfect place for, like I said, one of their mines. And to have the peak inside one of these mines, also a slightly outdated video, still looks like that. I'd like to think there's maybe more rooms in this data center. But it's very good. Remember, we're tactile people. We want to see these things. So again, we can see them online, verify them. And then these racks and racks full of machines, we as the members own those machines because, like I said, they work on a crowdfunding type of scenario. So we pay our memberships, pay for a share, and then they install these mines for us. So shelves and shelves of these things. They're actually giving away the old machines, I see. These are currently Antminer S9s. They're giving away the old S7s to members who go and visit them. Because, yeah, these machines have got a limited lifetime. So, yeah. But thousands of them. It's quite an impressive facility, I must say. All right, so that's what it looks like. So the nitty-gritty of it. How do I earn commissions? Now, it's just not just commissions. You start off by paying $99. That's your once-off membership. You never pay it again. And you can pay this membership and purchase your share in any one of the mining pools in Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, or Ethereum. All right, so the shares start at 500. So people always ask, so how much is that in rands? It's give or take 9,000 rands, depending on the exchange you use to purchase your Bitcoin. Now, there's 4 types of mining pools in Bitclub. There's, like I said, the $500 one, there's a $1,000 one, and also a $2,000 one. These are just larger shares. If you opt, you can also do all of them together, and that's what's known as a founder's pool. Now, this little photo over here, this is Russ Medlin, co-founder. This is Joe Frank Abel. He's the first member of Bitclub, and Roger Ver, actually quite pertaining with the Bitcoin Cash split at the moment. He's, of course, also the owner of Bitcoin.com. And then this is Yoshi, the CEO of Antminer. So Bitclub sorts out the technical bits. They work together with all these people. For example, Joby, I know the annual blockchain summit on Necker Island, where Sir Richard Branson's home is. There's about 250, 300 people, I speak under correction, that goes there annually every year. And Joby's there every year. So they know exactly what's going on in the industry. So they take care of all the technical bits for us. All right. So the mining shares and the power of compounding. These mining shares that we purchase, don't think Old Mutual or Sunlam or something shares. Remember, we're purchasing computers through Bitclub. So you've got a share in this data center. These computers are valid for 1,000 days. So you can, of course, say, I would like to earn or take out all my Bitcoin for the 1,000-day period. After the 1,000 days, then you're done. Then you have to purchase a share again. Or what you could do is you can take a portion of the Bitcoin that it's mining for you, and you can do what they call a repurchase. So these little repurchases, you don't have to let the Bitcoin value build up to $500 again. It builds up to give it like $25, then it does a repurchase for you. So a partial share, as they call it. So imagine you're mining, and you've set your computer 50%. We recommend that guys actually let their shares double. In other words, as it's creating new Bitcoin for you, don't withdraw it, let the system take it and repurchase a partial share for you. These partial shares are again valid for 1,000 days. So in this scenario, let's say that was a $500 mining share. Now you're mining with a full share and a partial share. So let's say $525. So that's compounding. So you're going to be mining faster and faster and faster. And before your first share expires, you've basically more than doubled your shares. I myself have that experience. Werner, the guys who've been mining for a while, we can all see it. And this is basically what it will look like in your personal office. You'll see in this example here on the left, this share was bought on the 25th of October 2015. That was one share. As you can see, the total shares sitting up here is 4.47. So by the time that first share expires, in other words, it'll become 3.47, but by that time it should be 4.5 or something. So you've got more shares that's continually going on for you. Here's another example of it. All right, so we can show you historical results. Unfortunately, I can't show you something in the future. So yeah, but that is how you work with repurchasing partial shares. So the amazing thing with this is, in general, as we know, Bitcoin price goes up. So they're looking for a dollar value within the Bitcoin to purchase partial shares. So as you're mining, it builds up Bitcoin. Bitcoin price goes up. You purchase faster, more and more shares that make you more and more Bitcoin. That's got a higher and higher Bitcoin value, and so on and so forth. So amazing process. You just mine more and more Bitcoin, which is worth more and more. All right. And then, of course, if you go and teach other people about Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, where you can buy it, how you can hold it, and how the underlying infrastructure works, in other words, Bitclub, then you're promoting it, and you can then start earning these referral bonuses as well from the networking side. And if you do this, listen to Dima over here, Dima Katsa. She's been doing Bitcoin or Bitclub for a while, and she does quite well. Now, I know that there's some of you who might be looking at this going, I'm not networking this or promoting this. Have a listen to what she says.
make money, or you make more money, or you make more money. It's either you go for a startup, plus the main cost, and the dessert. So it's up to you which one you want. If you want to go for the startup, that's up to you. If you want to go for the main course, that's up to you. I didn't know I had such an appetite for money and to create wealth before I was introduced into this business. Sometimes we think we have made it with what we are currently getting, up until you are shown something else different and even more better than what you know. I mean, I used to earn okay, I used to be in corporate for the last 21 years. Yes, I still look 16, by the way. But I started in Bitclub Network as an investor. I remember sitting in the office and I thought, I am not doing this as a business. I've got something better, which was corporate, which is what I knew all my life. Because what we are taught in the system is that go to school, go to university, have a job, get married, have a house, have kids, and die. And then while you are working, you have a corner office and you think, I have arrived. And I thought the same thing. But 3 months ago, thank you to Bitclub Network, just like many other of my business partners, I have managed to fire my boss.
They cannot afford me anymore. So the concept is actually quite simple. We're not going to go into the compensation plan. But you'll see over here, here's 2 different screen grabs from 2 different memberships, where he talks about a requirement for a title or a rank, as they call it in Bitclub. You'll notice it says here, to achieve that, you need $2 million in total enrollment tree volume. In short, what it means is the amount of miners in your referral base, in your network, needs to have a certain amount. So if you continually tell friends and they tell friends and so on and so forth, and these people then sign up and join and buy mining shares, whether they just want to mine or whether they want to build a business, kind of irrelevant, this makes up part of your volume. So you need a volume in your business for this specific rank. But you'll notice in these 2 screen grabs, in the top one, the total amount of the volume in the business for this person was $330,500. The bottom one is $547,500. Now, would you rather earn a certain percentage of your mining of $500, or would you earn a smaller percentage of a $330,500 volume, or even a $547,000 volume? I think you get what I'm saying. So firstly, you earn off your own mining. Brilliant. You don't have to do anything. But why not tell other people about Bitcoin? Ask them if they listen to Yakaranda or one of those radio stations. And then when they join and they start mining, you earn a small percentage of their volume as well. So as they keep on telling people and so on and so forth, then you start earning from that as well. Not bad, eh? Now, this gentleman over here, I must really go and Google this guy. The reason I got him in here is it's not just Joby that's sitting on yachts and traveling the world. It's also normal people like us. Have a listen.
So, after 7 countries, 47 days on the road, and 30,000 plus kilometers traveled, I'm finally back in South Africa, and it's time for me to tell you how I did all of this. And I did this with Bitclub Network. Bitclub Network is a company that allows you and me to build our business by using their products. And they are a Bitcoin mining company. So the only money I earn every day is Bitcoin.
And I can also say the same. I only earn Bitcoin. Now, Bitclub is no longer just a mining company. You would have noticed in that video of Joby, he was also talking about CoinPay. So this is quite exciting. Soon we'll be able to introduce merchants to a way that they can accept cryptocurrency. And just like Visa and MasterCard make that little cut, So Visa and MasterCard's got like 25,000 transactions per second. Now, if you know a whole bunch of merchants, you could then go and introduce them to Bitclub, and you'll be making a small little bit of money from their transactions whenever people purchase products with cryptocurrency. Now, remember those huge amounts of money that I showed earlier? When that starts flowing into the market and people want to start spending their cryptocurrency to buy normal stuff every day from merchants, wouldn't you like to have a couple of merchants in your network who you're making a little bit of money from? So that's also happening. So Bitclub is not just a mining company, they're a technology company, and they're rolling out a whole bunch of new products for us as well. So just as a last example, this is Raymond, a really, really hardworking gentleman. He did very, very well. Look, not everyone's going to achieve what he's done here, but have a listen to what he's done and what he's earning. This video was at the office earlier this year when the Bitcoin price was quite high. But have a listen to what he's at this stage was earning per month and what he earned over 18 months. And hold on to your chair.
So in the last 30 days, I've only managed 5.1 Bitcoin. 5 Should I end there? Now, if you really do this serious as a business, I can guarantee you, you will make serious millions now. Since I started 18 months now, I have done only 73.5 Bitcoins. 73.5 Bitcoins in 18 months. Is that good money or not? So, please treat this as a business. Treat this as what? As a business. Because that's what I've done. Now, for me, just like Ali says, the proudest thing for me. Wow.
At that stage, like I said, the Bitcoin price was nice and high, but it almost equates at that moment in time to R1 million a month. And what's it, 5.5 million for 18 months worth of work? It's also not too bad. It's like winning the lotto. So in short, that's Bitclub there for you. Please speak to the person that introduced you to Bitclub. Let them help you to purchase Bitcoin cryptocurrency. I actually think it's a really good time, in my opinion, to buy Bitcoin right now. It's nice and low. So yes, and get involved in the Bitcoin business and Bitclub. Learn, speak to your friends. It's really not a complicated or a difficult business to join. But yes, please speak to the person that introduced you. Werner, that's it from me.
Yes, thank you. It's got also new slides and stuff you got for us tonight.
Thank you. Always try to add something. You know me.
No, thank you, Exxon. I think you've covered everything. Is there any questions, guys? If anybody has a question, please raise your hand or type in the message box. Then we'll quickly answer some questions. If not, then yeah, we'll take it from there. Anybody, any questions? Any of the new people that never have, that's new, that's got anything to ask or something?
Does it all make sense?
Does it make sense? Are you blown away?
Thanks, Nico.
Thanks, Nico.
You can also, and there's a list of names, and you can see underneath it says raise hand. So you can press that button and a little hand will appear next to your name. If you want to ask, and then Werner can unmute you. So you can also do that. Nothing there.
Okay. If there's no questions, then I am recording this webinar. It takes about an hour or so for the thing to process, and then I'll put it in the groups. So yeah, look out for it. Celia, always pleasure. Thanks.
Thank you, guys.
Richard, thanks, Richard. Okay, so if there's no questions, just wait another second or so. Nothing. Yeah, great job, Edsot. Everybody understands Bitcoin now. Awesome. Thank you, guys. Wait,
oh, yes. Thanks for that, Nico. Yeah, we have the main office available for us on Wednesday evenings. Thanks a lot, Nico, for reminding us on that. The meeting is 7. As you can tell, I'm Afrikaans, but my English is not that bad. The meeting is mainly intended for Afrikaans-speaking people because apparently Bitcoin is a little tricky. I don't know, but we want to help the Afrikaans people as well in Afrikaans, soos julle wil. But English people welcome as well. I always ask in the meetings if I need to speak English, Afrikaans, bilingual, whatever. But it's at the main offices until the 1st of December, actually. So it's for the next 2 weeks. And then when the new offices are open in Rosebank, we'll continue on Wednesday evening. So we've started having meetings there. So yes, feel free to join us. Wednesday evenings at 7. It's Avon Road in Randburg, but you feel free to join us. You're most welcome.
7 Avon Road.
That's it. Yes. Thanks, Glenn.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for taking time to sit and watch this. I hope Eton has made you think about getting really involved in Bitclub because it's an awesome business. It will change your life. It's even if you just do it part-time, but do it. It's awesome. And if you do it full-time, then it's going to be just better even more.
Excellent. Glad the guys like the idea of a Afrikaans meeting. It's awesome.
Awesome, great. Okay, thanks, guys. I think that's it.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. See you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Cheers.